Hey guys, what is up? It's Duncan, and today, finally, I've got the Real Racing full-on in-depth review. Guys, if you've seen, I've done a couple. I had it featured. I had a short, condensed version of it featured in my last application review, 8 or 9 or 7 or whatever. And then I've also shown you guys a replay. You guys check that out as well. A replay of what it looks like using some of the really nice connectivity features. But now I'm going to go in depth. I'm going to show you guys the whole deal. You guys would really enjoy it. This is one of my favorite games. So let's get this one started. Anyway, let's get this one started. So the first thing that you will notice when you open up Real Racing is that, wow, it is so polished. Graphics are so great. It's really, guys, I know I've said this before, but I used to be a huge fan, probably maybe like 10 years ago or so, of Gran Turismo for the original PlayStation. Guys, I spent like all my time on that. That was the coolest game ever. This is this is like the original Gran Turismo for iPhone. When that Gran Turismo came out, it was like every other racing game. There's like Test Drive. It just blew them away. It was realistic and it had good graphics, but it really focused on just the aspect of racing. It really focused on the cars were realistic. There was all kinds of customization, and it really focused more on like making it realistic. And it did, as well as make the cars look really great too. That's what Real Racing does for me. It's got some fantastic graphics, right up there with Need for Speed. Some really nice graphics. But what it really shines is the depth of just all of the different modes and just how, when you race, it just feels right. Now, I'm a pretty big fan of racing games. So, I've raced lots for the iPhone iTouch. Things where they always go wrong is usually like the controls that are they're too easy, or it's like they just don't feel right. The physics, your car like speeds up like crazy and like takes turns and it just doesn't seem realistic, and graphics as well. But if a game is realistic and it actually is usable, I don't care if the graphics aren't perfect. Guys, Real Racing nails all three of these. The controls are almost perfect 1-to-1. Seriously, where you especially can see it is in the inside cockpit view. When you're tilting it, it's almost perfect. As you tilt it left and right, the whole screen moves almost perfectly. It's really great. I will say that the outside view, when you're racing from behind the car, kind of is a little finicky. But guys, when you're in the inside view, it is just awesome. I love it. Anyway, so enough with this. Let me just get into the review. Okay, there are several modes and lots of cars to choose from. You can go through career mode, which has several different championships that you can go to. In each one, you will unlock new cars, get faster cars. There's hatches, there's sedans, and there are also sports cars. And each one have their different pros and cons, such as they're lightweight and take turns better, or have higher top speeds, etc., etc. The career mode is where you will probably spend the bulk of your time, because that way you unlock new cars, and you also get the new tracks. And I gotta say, the cars, they're actually, I'm kind of a little stickler for this. I prefer when cars are real. They're actually like a real BMW or whatever. And these are kind of just generic cars. I get it, but that's just kind of something that I would have preferred. Like Need for Speed and everything has. But that's one of my only complaints about this game. Seriously, it's great. There's 60 cars or so in the game. There are also, I will say most of them are the same car. There's like they will just be, each one will have like more like faster or whatever, and maybe like look a little different, like have like a spoiler or like a different paint job or whatever. And then you go on through the career mode, and you can unlock. You start with hatches and blah blah blah. You move on through. Then there are a couple other modes. There are quick race, which basically you just real fast. That's something I like to do a lot because I like to keep my iPod in my pocket, and when I'm like bored for like 10 minutes, where I pull out real racing, do a race real fast. Looks kind of funny when you're sitting there tilting it around, but who cares? Anyway, so you can do quick race where you just pick all your cars, and you can pick opponents and what track and all that kind of stuff. You also do time trial, which is fun when you're really trying to practice. But the main thing is the connected mode. Guys, this is seriously really, really awesome. Basically what connected is it. Let me just back up a little bit and just kind of tell you a bit more. Real racing, it's seriously got some really, really nice connectivity features. Now, as you guys saw, I had that replay. That was totally done through Real Racing. Basically, what you do is when you do a racing connected mode, the Real Racing, Cloud Cell, which is a service for different apps, mostly through such as Flight Control and Need for Speed. Basically, what it does is when you race a race online through the connected mode, it will remember it. It will record it. And you go log on with your computer. You can hit record. You hook up your YouTube channel. You can hook it up through there, and then it will go ahead and if you want, like let's say you had a really good replay or just whatever, you can go ahead and upload it to your channel. It took 10 minutes tops from the time I hit upload to the time it was playing on my channel. I thought that was very cool. But it goes deeper than that. There's different leagues that you can join. There's a lot of really cool stuff, and there's also head-to-head local, where let's say you and a friend have like an iPod and an iPhone. You have this game. You guys can race against each other, just like standing across the room, which is pretty cool. But I've talked to you guys a little bit about the stuff, but the real reason that this game is just so awesome is just because the gameplay is just so fun. Like I said, there's an inside cockpit view, and it's really, really nicely laid out. Generally, you will want like a heads-up display showing like how fast you're going, your time, everything. That is all included in the car. Like for example, like your laps and everything will be up in your top left corner, like hanging from like a little dial on your A pillar beside your windshield. Same goes for like how fast you're going, like how long you've been going for the lap, and it'll show you like your intervals between the guys in front of you or behind you, whatever. It shows you basically like where your tachometer would be on your steering wheel. Guys, this looks really, really cool because it just totally makes it realistic. Seriously, when you're in the inside view, there's nothing that, obviously it's not going to look perfect like a Xbox whatever, but there's no anything that would make you think that it would not be real. It really gets into it. Even from the gear shifts, which the thing I really like about the inside the car view is just that so many games don't have that for consoles. Xbox 360 games, a lot of them don't have that. Gran Turismo, only the brand new Gran Turismo has that. This is an iPod, or this is an iPhone, and it has such just, the graphics aren't as great, but the way the inside the car view is just, I don't know, that just got me. I just love that. There's also, like I said, the outside of the car view. I find that a little awkward. The controls just don't work as well for me when I do that, but it's doable. But man, I'm always inside the car. Anyway, now let me go ahead and just really go briefly on the controls. There are several control formats, and actually one which I kind of feel bad. It's actually like cheating, but I do it anyway. It's where the computer will control your gas and brake for you, and basically all you do is steer. Basically what it'll do is you'll be basically full throttle the whole time, and then when you get into like turns and stuff, it'll automatically brake. And you can adjust the auto brake, like if you want it to be more conservative, or you want to try to maybe get more speed out of it, and you can do that too. There are several different things. There's also just totally manual, where you'll have a little gas and brake pedal on the screen. Then there's also you can adjust the accelerometer sensitivity, which is if you plan on doing outside the car view, I definitely recommend maybe just adjust it. And then you can do different things such as you can manually brake, and it won't assist you at all. Things like that. The controls really are great on this, but I just love the inside the car view, how perfect the accelerometer is. Anyway, guys, I'm kind of going crazy on this, but Real Racing is just an awesome game. I love it. I mean, it is right up there. It and Galcon are my two favorite games, no problem. Only reason I don't give this game a perfect 10 and everything is because it's $10. Obviously that's a pretty expensive. That's just about as expensive as it gets for an iPhone app. And I went ahead and I bought it. I spent $10. I went ahead and bought it just because I knew this game was going to be great. I had been waiting for it for a while. But the thing is, guys, as great as this game is, if you don't have to have it this second, you probably would want to hold up on it. I can't imagine it's going to be $10 too much longer. And if you'd like to, I imagine it'd probably be down to $6 or $5 or whatever. At $10, I would not mind. I did not mind paying $10 at all. But you guys might want to just wait up just a little bit, wait for it to come down in price. And if you guys are looking for a great racing game, guys, this is it right here, Real Racing. Go check it out.